everybody.
Hello. I think we're having some technical difficulties today, but we are live from Used Car Week. I am Jess.
I'm Shasta.
And we are the chicks in charge, and we are so excited to have Jasen Rice with us today from LotPop. How are you doing, Jasen?
Awesome. It's a great show so far.
It is.
Yeah,
When did you come in?
Yesterday. Yeah.
So you had all day yesterday?
Yeah, at about 2 o'clock I got here. So
Awesome.
Yeah, we had a good time.
And you've done this event before, right?
Yeah, probably 7-8 times now.
Amazing.
Probably 7-8 years in a row now.
Wow.
They've been real supportive of company and allow me to speak and have sessions all the time. So no, it's been great. They're a good group of people here.
Awesome. So I know that you've been in the automotive industry for many years, 25 years, right?
Yep, at least. Yeah,
cool.
26.
Where did you get your start?
At a Cribs Ford City in St. Louis, Missouri. So it was a Ford store. They now sold out to a dealer group years ago. But yeah, I was a server, and one of the waitress there said, "Oh, my boyfriend just got a job selling cars." I'm like, "Oh, did he go to school for that?" And she's like, "No, there's an ad." So I answered the ad in the paper, and next thing you know, I was selling cars.
Awesome. Wow. And now it led you here.
Yes.
So where were you at whenever you decided that LotPop needed to be a thing? It was something that dealers needed, and you had to be the one to bring it to life.
Well, it was more of a personal journey, I guess, because I had, I was traveling with vAuto. I was there for 8+ years, from 2005 to 13, and I had a young family at home, and I was gone 3 to 4 days a week, every week, and I just felt like I needed to be. I had this idea a couple years ago, and I was going to try to do it then, but I didn't. And but back then, it was out of pride and ego. I was just going to start my own company, but this time around, it was more, I'm going to do this as a tool to be able to be home for my kids and stuff. Right. And then I knew the potential it could grow, but here we are 10 years later now.
Wow.
So it's been a fun journey. So
speaking of family, you have several kids, right? You've got
5. Yeah.
Wow.
So that keeps me busy too.
Boys, girls?
Oh, so yeah, and they range from 8 to 32. So
wow.
The 2 oldest are boys, 32 and 25, and then we have a 21 daughter, 16 daughter, and an 8-year-old daughter.
Wow.
So, you are busy, aren't you?
So do you think your time at vAuto kind of inspired LotPop?
Yeah, I mean, because we're using data from vAuto or VinQ or Max Digital and just slicing their inventory different ways. Then because those tools are great, looking at market data and auction data and that information. But being there, I realized there's a missing link between just giving them an actionable game plan. Here's what's happening, regardless of what the market's doing or what the auction's doing. Here's what's happening on your lot. Exactly. So yeah, there's just we got about 30, but at least 15 key metrics that you want to keep an eye on, and you can pull it out of those systems. It just takes a lot of work, so we just simplified all that. But our biggest key is we do a weekly call with our dealerships. Yep. So we're accountability partners, second set of eyes, and challenge them, call them out. So that's been our strength, is that our people and doing those calls.
Right. Yes. The communication with your dealers and their team is so important whenever you are a vendor in this space.
Yeah.
Keeping that open line of communication open and transparency is imperative. So we, being an outsourced BDC, we work very closely with LotPop and your team. Where do you think that dealers miss the mark the most?
Well, obviously lead management. I think they give up on leads too soon. And just and there's some CRMs that kind of promote that. Hey, after 7 days or 14 days, just move them to an automated AI, which I really don't care for, because that's I think that people element, but it's a lot of work. And so if you think about it, you're doing all this activity for maybe a 10 to 15% result. So I'm doing 100 calls to get one, deal or whatever. So it is a lot of work, but yeah, I think the missing the boat is giving up on leads too soon. When I was selling cars off the internet, and I started in 97 doing that, 98. But, I would continue to follow up, and I would get, the back then 8 to 10% was a good closing percentage, but we do 12 to 15 because those extra 2 to 5% closing was 50, 60, 70-day leads. Are like, you're the only one that's ever followed up with us. I felt like we needed to earn their business and not just try to sell them. So, yeah, I think dealers, and like I said, I don't like 7-10 days and then move it on to an AI.
Right.
And it makes sense a little bit. The other thing is active leads on sold cars. We talk about that, where somebody's on a large pickup truck at $40,000, it sells. Do you have any other $40,000 trucks? But if it's a 30-day lead that they haven't got a hold of and the truck's sold, they just move it to lost and move on. And we wouldn't do that on the showroom floor.
Sure.
We would offer them alternatives and try to show them other vehicles. So we should be doing that with that virtual.
I agree. 100%.
Well, and one of the things that in the BDC world that we've seen from dealers is I've had a store that literally on day one, if the vehicle wasn't available, they would let the customer know, hey, that looks like that vehicle's already sold. If you have any questions, let us know. And then they mark it lost. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That is a potential customer.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you have similar units.
You can flip them into something else.
Exactly.
And yeah, I think it's a problem too that, we're managing leads based on the age of the lead, but that's irrelevant to where the customer's in their buying cycle. We don't know if they're 2 days out or 2 months out. They might just be starting to research right now. Somebody asked me, why would somebody submit a lead and never get back a hold of you? I said, well, do you ever do it? I said, I see products or something that I kind of want to mark until I can come back later to see it or show it to so I might submit a lead just to mark that car to where I know 2 weeks from now or 3 when I'm ready, I want to see if it's still there, or if not, find something like it. So I might submit a lead like that. And I think, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, customers are doing the same thing you're doing, right? Even like in Facebook, you go through and sometimes you like something, or just so you can come back to see it, or you comment so you can follow that conversation. I think that's what a lot of people do with submitting leads.
For sure.
Because they want to mark that car, that way 2 months when they get their tax return or something, they can buy it. And if not, then they know what they're looking for. So,
what do you think your favorite feature about LotPop is?
That aspect. Well, the thing is, again, instead of managing leads based on the age of the lead, now we allow them to manage leads based on situations on their lot. So let's use large pickup truck as an example. If the large pickup trucks are aging and they're not selling very good, let's isolate any leads on large pickup trucks and start calling and email them every day, every other day to get that sell rate back up.
Exactly.
And I don't care if it's a 50-day lead or a 2-day lead, I need these trucks going. So what we do, because you can't do that in a CRM, it's kind of sad. I can't go into a CRM and say, give me my truck leads, or give me my $30,000 to $35,000 cars, or my 2020s. You could by maybe exporting into an Excel sheet and slicing and dicing it, but that still don't have contact information.
Right.
So that's what I like the most. So they can manage leads based on situations on their lot, so the age of the lead, again, which is irrelevant to the customer's buying cycle.
And it's always live. Like, it's not, you don't have to wait 7 days, you don't have to wait 5 days. It's up to the moment based on what your inventory is right now, not what it was last week.
Yeah, it's daily, not to the moment. But yeah, each day we'll get the update from the inventory tool and the CRM, because inventory tools really don't talk leads and CRMs don't talk cars.
Yep.
We do a physical lot walk every day, make sure cars are pretty and standing tall and customers are being meted and greeted, but you can't really do that in the virtual world. You have a CRM. Over here where BDC people are doing it, and they don't know anything about the inventory issues. They got an inventory manager, don't know what's going on with the leads. And so that's, again, doing this for 20-something years, it's kind of a shame.
It's a great connector piece between CRM and inventory management that just, it helps. If the BDC knows how to use it, it helps the BDC tremendously. But if stores don't have BDC, then their salespeople just knowing what to do with every single opportunity this dealer has spent their money on. Sure. And turn inventory even faster.
Yeah, the other eye-opening thing I'll be talking today about is 50% of your leads are only on about 10% of your inventory. And so I try to get dealers to understand, we know it is a lead equates to activity. I get a lead, I'm going to call, email, text, right? So half your activities is being spent on 10% of your inventory.
Wow.
Then the other equation is half your inventory doesn't have leads. So if I don't get a lead on a car, my BDC or sales team's not helping me sell that car.
Yep.
So the car that has all the leads, as an inventory manager, I don't need to worry about it. I'm not dropping the price. We got leads. And my team, if I got 10 leads on it, they're going to do 10 calls or emails. In the meantime, I got a 50-day-old car with no lead. Well, which car needs more help? The car with no leads. But they're helping, but they're not doing any activity on it.
Sure.
And that's where we come in with those switch leads. You might have 5 people. You can, hey, that car sold. But here's this car. And so, that's the other thing I think is, we're starting to peel back this, connecting these two dots and peeling this back, realizing those type of numbers. It's like half your inventory don't even have leads. So they're not doing any calls or emails to help you sell those cars. So now what? And again, that's things like leads per car, the lead per car number. A lot of dealers try to track that, but that's irrelevant. It needs to be what percentage of your inventory doesn't have leads.
Sure, exactly.
I've seen leads per car shoot up, but then the percentage of cars with no leads shoots up. So that makes sense. How do I get more leads per car?
Right.
But it's because.
But less cars with leads. Yep.
Yeah. So what happens is that one car has 15 leads, that car has 20 leads, and the other ones filter through, and it's like, wow. So yeah, we're just starting to peel back some of this metrics that we want to track.
So talk to us a little bit about LotPop University.
Okay. Yeah, so we do a 1.5-day course. I typically train it unless I have something going on, but it's in our office in Kansas City. And the first day is all the metrics and key points that we track and trim in our tool. It's free, and you don't have to be a client because the metrics you can do yourself. We just happen to do it for you, but you can do these metrics yourself. And then the other half a day is more of the tool, our LotWalk software and how to mark leads work and create different views and how to actually use the tool. But yeah, a day and a half, and I try to do it every month.
Cool.
I have one coming up here in November 20th, I think, or whatever, Monday, Tuesday.
Is
it's a Tuesday,
is it open
Wednesday.
to anybody?
Yeah.
You have a max amount of people who can come?
No, I mean, we have 2 different spaces. If less than 8 people are coming, we have a little conference room. But we also have a big 3,000 square foot training place I could fit 40 people in. So,
nice.
Okay.
That's another reason why we might extend it to make every other week or every quarter, because it's free and it's every month. So we had people signing up, and I'll have 10 people supposed to show up, and 5 do.
Sure.
And I think it's a lot of times because they go, it's free, we'll just go next month.
Right.
We'll try it. And so I'm like, either I'm gonna have to start charging, so they take it seriously.
I mean, you could even charge $25 a ticket or something
Just
super cheap, just so like it's got that commitment factor in there. They bought this ticket.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. But no, that's
Cool.
what we do.
I love that. That's really awesome. That's a neat idea, and I love that you're doing it so often to give everybody a chance to be involved in it.
And it keeps me on my toes, and get in front of people and just training too. And like I said, I don't charge for it because I don't know. I think I like giving back I do videos and stuff because this industry's been great to me. So I just try to give back to the industry that's blessed me and my family our whole lives. So,
I love that.
That's awesome. It is a wonderful industry. I love it here.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kansas City, you live in the Southwest. How do you like living in the Southwest? You're not too far from us.
Midwest.
Chiefs. Go Chiefs. Yeah, Midwest.
I should know that.
I thought you
We're
meant
in the Southwest right now.
Kansas City.
Right?
Yeah.
No, Midwest.
Yeah. No, go Chiefs, right?
Yep, 100%.
No, I love it. I grew up in St. Louis, so we moved to Olathe, Kansas,
Okay.
16, 17 years ago, and we've kept the company there the whole time and our house and everything. So, cool town. A lot of people don't know, like we have Garmin watch. The national headquarters is there.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of car business in Kansas City.
There
Yeah,
is.
A lot of vendors. There's probably a dozen vendors there.
Yeah, that's
Ourselves,
the home of
BenQ,
Vin Solutions too.
Vin Solutions.
I was born in Overland Park.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's close. And then, but then we have NCM 20 group. You have big groups like Hendrick and Carvana's got a tower there.
Yep.
So
it's a pretty big hub for the auto industry.
Yeah.
So you also have, remind me, season tickets to sporting?
Yeah.
Oh,
How has that been? I know that's a new addition to Kansas City and partial owned by the Mahomes family. And
Well, the current is new. The
current,
women's,
right,
yeah,
right.
the women's, and they're building the first women's stadium
That's
dedicated to women only in the nation. So it's pretty cool. But I just stumbled on being a soccer fan over the last couple of years. I got invited to speak in Madrid, Spain, at a used car conference. And so we went there, and the guy's like, "Hey, do you want to go to a Real Madrid game?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, I don't follow soccer, but I know that's like going to the Cowboys game or
Right.
the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, I want to go." And 80,000 people to a soccer
my
game is
gosh.
crazy. So that was really cool. And at the same time, the World Cup was going on.
Yep.
Ted Lasso,
Yep.
Robin loves Ted Lasso. Watching that, and Welcome to Wrexham was going on, and I almost bought season tickets pre-COVID just because they're 20 minutes from the house and have a perk for the employees, and it's fun to go. And then we canceled. Yeah, so we just got them this year, and it's a blast, and it's fun. And now they're in the playoffs. They shouldn't have been.
super cool.
Should have been.
Well, they weren't. It's the first MLS team to make the playoffs by not winning the first 10 games.
Wow.
We either lost or tied, and then since May we've had the best record, and so we just upset St. Louis, which was the number 1 seed, and yeah, we just beat them 2 in a row.
Wow.
We're
That's
moving on to the
amazing.
next round.
That's
Cool.
impressive.
So what's the energy difference like between a sporting game and a Chiefs game?
Well, what I found out I think it's similar, but it's
Really?
just so much work to go to a Chiefs game. I just went to the Chiefs Denver where and employees got me for our 10-year anniversary, got me tickets to go to the game, so I was blessed there. And I've probably only been 3 times in 16 years that we've been there, but yeah, I mean, it's a 7:00 game, so you're leaving the house at 3:30, and we only tailgated for an hour. I can't imagine the people tailgated for 3 hours,
Right.
but so we tailgate for an hour, and then the game. I think we got home at 11:30. It's an 8-hour ordeal,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
that's not spending much time tailgating.
Right.
We spent an hour
Sure.
hanging out, and then we went into the game. So it's just a lot of work. I realized I like watching Chiefs at home on TV better than in person,
Yes.
and then but I like watching sporting live
Better in person.
than in TV. So that's how I'm balancing out. I'll watch Chiefs on TV and I'll go to the sporting games.
It's almost a downside that the Chiefs keep winning because the tickets keep getting more
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, hold on.
And then Taylor Swift's there and
Oh my
everything.
gosh.
She was
We're
actually
not-
right.
We don't
behind us.
talk to Shasta about Taylor
Yeah,
Swift. We don't
I'm
bring her
not
up.
happy about it.
Yeah.
Not happy about it. It's overtaking all the games.
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It was
is.
distracting because we're trying to watch a game at the same time. She's like right there, and so you're watching. Like
You're like, oh,
my wife's
oh,
like,
okay.
what is she
I'd be
doing?
more
I'm like,
excited about being in front of Donna Kelsey.
No,
You
personally.
would.
Yeah.
You would.
I'm a huge Kelsey fan.
Well, not only that, I mean, statistically, if you put numbers to it, she has accomplished way more because they just to be a mother with one kid in the NFL, much less two,
Right.
much less two playing against
In the
each other in the
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Exactly.
I mean, the
It's
odds of
huge.
that is like 1 in 100 million. I mean,
Right.
how many singers are out there, right?
yeah.
You know, how many Taylor Swifts are out there over the
Yeah.
last 50 years? But for her, I mean, I've name anybody that can duplicate what she's done. It's
I know.
like, wow, that's crazy.
It was an amazing story to watch. I watched the Amazon Prime special on
Mm-hmm.
Jasen, and it was amazing. And just that whole family dynamic is just so cool, and their brotherhood and how they work together in the NFL. Their podcast, oh my god, I love their podcast.
It's so funny.
So it's fun getting to be a Chiefs fan right now.
It is.
Oh god, we got comments popping.
We do.
Oh, yeah,
No,
you
it's
got
50. That's so funny. The burner had to be huge. Trying to keep up with comments, and we're like 10 feet away
I
from
know.
the
I
screen.
keep forgetting about it.
Gotta lean in and look.
For sure. So we kind of missed this part at the beginning, but what is something that a lot of people don't know about LotPop that because it's so all-encompassing.
Mm-hmm.
It's so all-encompassing that a lot of people may not even know the basics of LotPop, LotWalk, switch leads.
Right.
Perfect.
And we've touched on it a little bit, but in the most simple of terms, like you're talking to a sixth grader, what do you do?
So it all started out with help dealers with better used car inventory management. So, and what I found over the years with vAuto and stuff, the best performing stores, you always ask you, when's the best time to make the most money on a car?
Right.
Well, when it's fresh.
Yesterday.
Okay. So do you want to increase or decrease the odds of a car selling while it's fresh? Well, increase it. Okay. So we want 60 to 70% of their sales to be on in the first 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
So fresh cars, 70% of your sales are going out on 30-day-old cars. Your grosses are going to be good. Your volume kicks in. So the second thing is, so 60, 70% in the first 30 days. And if you're carrying 100, let's sell 100 or 150. You don't need 150 to sell 100. And so carry what you sell what you carry. So those are the two main principles. Got 100 cars, sell 100 cars, 70% in the first 30 days. If not, why? So is it your trucks are heavy 2020s? Is your average investment gone up? Your photos got behind? Did you got too many 30 to 35,000 and not enough 20 to 25,000? And so all these different metrics, about 30 of them that we're capturing and going, okay, here's your three things that are throwing you off. Your trucks and your 31 to 45, and you got a bunch of trucks and your 31 to 40. Then once you start integrating the lead data, it's like, well, maybe the trucks are sitting because they're not following up with my truck leads.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, well, we got to look at that data too. And so we track that information too. What's the a 2-day contact ratio? What percentage of these active leads, cars still in stock, they haven't called in 2 days? Because that can be your whole problem. Stop dropping prices. Just get your team to follow up with the leads.
Why would a dealer never not want that information?
Right.
Like that
Yeah.
is so useful to have. I mean, that's car deals all day long.
Yeah.
So I started in '97, and by '98 I was selling cars off the internet. 8 years lead management background. I was on a board of directors to get Digital Dealer off the ground, all that kind of stuff. And then I got to meet Dale in 05 and got to be part of that whole vAuto thing. And so I've been able to combine those two worlds. So it's been fun.
Robin says, tell them about the scoring system that makes it easy for dealers to fix their inventory quickly.
Oh, our WTF score.
Work the facts.
Work the facts. So it's about 22 metrics because if I find a truck problem, I need to find what trucks are causing the problem. Out of the 30, what do I just, So yeah, on a scale of 100, we'll score cars. So example, you might have a truck scoring a 20. And some of the metrics would be like, are you heavy in that year? Are you heavy in that segment? Are you heavy in that price point? Is it an age bucket you're not selling enough out of? Have you not changed the price in a while? Does it have a high day supply? Is it mileage? Do you have leads you haven't followed up with, or you don't have any leads? So us trying to figure out, okay, you got a truck problem, and this truck, again, maybe you haven't changed the price in 2 weeks, you're heavy in the year, you're heavy in the segment, heavy in the price point, you haven't had a lead in 7 days, it's mileage. Those are all factual things when you want to do about it. And so, again, I don't care what the market says, not that market data is good. After I find that truck and find that problem, then pivot to the marketing.
Exactly.
Because again, I can do something about my 2020s. I can do something about this age bucket. I can do something about these leads, but I can't do. And if the Ford store the Honda store drops their Ford $1,000, I can't do nothing about that.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's so that score really helps us figure out the cars then. But again, it's based off of all the other metrics we're tracking. So.
And how often do the dealers just answer it with, "Okay, let's get more leads"?
Oh yeah, yeah. More inventory. Hey, we need to buy more cars because we're only selling 80 cars and we need more cars. And like, no, you got 120. You don't need more cars. Stop buying.
Yeah, you should be running out of cars. Like there is enough demand in the market. You have the power to price with however the market is running. You should constantly be running out of cars.
That and they want the new shiny thing. Facebook Marketplace or SEO, SEM or whatever the new flavor is, digital retailing. And I'm like, man, your photos aren't even good. Your pricing's way too high, and you got leads no one's following up with. Man. Don't worry about Facebook Marketplace right now.
Yeah. How about you sell the leads you have first, and then we'll talk about adding more.
But I also give, they get, you want to track a lot of those metrics. How many appointments, how many show, how many sold, how many delivered, and we track sold versus delivered. As you should, especially if you're in a subprime market. I could sell 20 cars but only deliver 10 because of bad credits or equity. But again, I think, and one of the things I learned with the internet, if you start tracking that kind of stuff, there's what I call a front and a back end of the internet. The front being the BDC, the call centers. Do we do a good job there? Call, email, schedule appointments. The back is when they show up, and sometimes it falls apart.
Yes.
The dealer, I didn't know there's an appointment. I didn't have the car pulled up, or they try to steal the trade because we're giving away this car. And so once you start tracking those metrics, a lot of those deals, and you're slow and you're not doing enough, is happening on the back end.
Exactly.
And so, you don't need more leads to figure out those two things. We're doing good here and we're doing good here. Now add more leads to the mix. Same with inventory.
All the data. Yeah. I'm such a data person that I would just diving into all of that stuff. I love numbers, and I love being able to see where can we improve here, how will we improve.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Once you see you got 50 appointments that showed, how do we only sell 10? What happened to the other freaking 40?
Right.
And that's the back end, and that's more other work.
Exactly. But it takes the dealer who cares. It takes the one that has the staff that is also going to invest in the tool. That is so important when we're looking at any vendor relationship, any tool like this. It takes both parties working together, which is again where that weekly dealer call comes in. To walk them through it, remind them why they're using it, and tell them, hey, you missed the ball on this one. You need to hit this one right now.
Right.
Yeah.
It's accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also like some other metrics I think are important that gets overlooked in like CRMs and stuff too is like, and you guys probably, but the lead to appointment time. I got the lead September 1st. I talked to them on November 6th. They're coming in on November 8th, and then that gap between September and this date.
Yep.
Because that's the other hard part is you'll sell them in November, but it was a September lead. So should it count towards September? Does it count toward November? But that's the thing. The trick question is hey, if you went from 2 days from lead to appointment to 4 days, you took longer. 2 to 4 days of lead to appointment. Is that a good or bad thing? And a lot of people say, well, that's bad. I'm like, well, no. By growing from 2-day average lead to appointment to 4 days, that means you're setting appointments on 20-day leads. They're older leads.
Yes.
So I want to increase the amount of time from lead to appointment. If I go from a 2-day to a 15-day, that's awesome because now I'm doing 40, 50-day-old leads.
Exactly.
It's going to appointment. So it's just little metrics like that I think you don't get out of CRMs, and you have to release most of them.
Oh, yes.
Robin says performance managers at LotPop are the real deal, and that they are.
Yeah, our team, at one point in time, there's 9 of us. We had 270 years experience, so 30-year average.
Wow.
Some of them own their own stores or families did, or been to dealer academies, huge car directors or GMs. So they've all been in everybody's shoes. So,
wow.
And that's so important to have on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, so you're doing LotWalk University is coming up on November 20th. You said it's 1 day or 2 days?
It's a day and a half.
Day and a half.
So,
okay. If people are interested in signing up for that, how do they get a hold of that?
You can either go lotpopu.com or lotpopuniversity.com or even lotwalku.com. Either way, that or our website, lotpop.com. We have our events there.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
We also do a 20 group, a used car 20 group. We meet every quarter. every 4 months. I'm sorry. So in Kansas City typically,
Okay.
and because again we have the facility to host it. And I thought I got to travel if I did a 20 group. Say, where do you want to go next? And everybody's like, no, Kansas City's fine because we have guys from
It's so central.
Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania and California coming. We got a guy in Canada. It's like a guy in Canada is not going to go out, and who's up in the Northwest or Northeast, he's not going to go to California, and vice versa. So everybody likes to come to Kansas City. Now this next 20 group, we might be going to Miami or somewhere warmer though, because it's going to be January, February. One of our dealer has a dealer group in Miami, so we're like, hey, if we can host it at your dealership and a conference, then let's go. So they offer that.
So, are you accepting anybody to come to your 20 group meetings as well?
So we've had dealers that come as guests and see if they like it. Now all of them have to at least be using our product, software or something, just because a lot of our time spent, covering those metrics and those performance metrics. We have 2 trophies. The best of the show gets the best numbers. We put in, and then we have a toilet trophy, the Lot Potty trophy. And the guy with the worst numbers get their names on the Lot Potty trophy, and we give those out.
Is it a little toilet? Please tell me.
It is.
Yes.
It's a little toilet. It's a little gold toilet on top of the thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
So nobody wants the Lot Potty.
No, you don't want to be on the Lot Potty list.
I have to know who got the Lot Potty list last year.
I think it was one of the Walton or Massey stores.
Uh-oh.
I didn't say that.
Tisk.
Yeah. They didn't make it to the meeting, so I don't think they know. I don't think they know they're on the potty list.
How funny. That's awesome.
Roman
Lot
hashtag
potty.
Lot Potty.
It's cool. It's a combination of some financials like front, back, gross, wholesale loss, and then we take a combination of activity in our tool. Who's logging in the most, who sold the most, 60% in the first 30, who sold the most volume, and then we combine those 2 numbers and rank them.
So I'm gonna try to make this my last question because I feel like I could just talk about this all day long. So when you guys have a dealer sign up with it and they fall off or you don't see them logging in, is it, you think, a lack of understanding or a lack of team buy-in?
A little bit of both. I mean, obviously there's a lot to our tool, but we try to simplify it. I think it's buy-in, right? Because it's not fun sometimes when we have to clean up their inventory and we get the volume going, but eventually the grosses are going down as we're cleaning things up, and sometimes they want to tap out. But also, I mean, I understand we're another add-on. It's just another tab that I have to have open when they already got this, and I got that. And it's like, yeah, but if you don't, So I understand that. So to get everybody to actually use that is, on our end to make sure everybody's trained up. And we'll spend 30 days of training alone. I got a training director that will do that before we hand them off to the analyst. So
that's a wonderful piece right there. Just 30 days of training. I don't feel like a lot of people offer that.
Yeah, when we do weekly calls, and then we train up, because here's a tool that 2 departments use. I want the BDC internet people to log in and figure out what leads they need to call and email. Here I had a guy who had 130 tasks in VIN Solutions, and I logged in our tool. I said, that's a lot of work. I said, but over here, there's 40 leads where the car's still in stock. You haven't called in 2 days. Just do those 40 first. And then you had 20 switch opportunities. It's like, there's 60. Do those first. It might clean up some of your 130, but we're finding like 60 to 70% of the activity that they're doing. If you did 130 calls, I think 60 to 70% of that activity has nothing to do to help me sell a car today. Because again, if half my inventory don't have leads, they're not working in those half of those cars, so they're not helping me. And then if half their activities on 10% of my car, what I'm saying? So we have to reverse that. We got to have 60 to 70% of what they're doing actually helps me sell a car today. And so do the low hanging fruit. The 40 cars still in stock, they've been contact in 2 days. We helped really. So anyways, it's a tool that 2 departments, get BDC internet and get your used car manager.
Exactly.
Figure out your problems, figure out your game plan on the problems, and have your team. We call it processes on LotPop. So process on purpose. Instead of them showing up and doing a 3-day call, 7-day email, there's no rhyme or reason. There's purpose behind their day. You're just doing grunt factory work because that's what the CRM says to do. Well, no, give them a purpose. Hey, I need help with trucks. All right, let me call and email truck leads.
And it leads to burnout too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does. And so every day when there's different problems, hey, I need help with my 30 to 35,000. All right, call and email those. Oh wait, I need help with my trucks. All right, call and email those. Yep. Like you said, it just gives them a little bit different mixture than just completing a bunch of tasks.
So. I love things that give them a purpose and not have to complete tasks, especially running a BDC of people all day long who are like, oh my God, there's so much to do.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, outside of right here at Used Car Week in Scottsdale, Arizona, where can people reach out to you? Where can they reach you at?
Jasen Rice So JRICE at LotPop.com. Really easy, but Facebook, LinkedIn. I typically try to once a week, every other week, I'm doing a video tip about what we're seeing in the market and stuff. So YouTube, we have a LotPop. There's probably 400 videos there over the years.
And you also have a podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, all I do is I take the video content and then throw it into that SoundCloud or whatever and put it as podcast. So you can find it on whatever Apple Podcast. Just look for LotPop and we'll pop up.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right, cool. Well, Jason, thank you so much for being a part of this today. We're super excited to get the opportunity to interview you, especially live and in person here at Used Car Week. So, guys, if you have not seen us yet, stop by. Make sure you see us. We don't have a booth, but we are around here somewhere. We're all around the place. So we've got swag. We've got lots of swag. We've got bags.
Brand new and never before seen swag.
Yes, all kinds of stuff. So remember, whenever you guys go out into the world this week, that you never know the battle that somebody else is facing. So whenever you go out into the world, remember to be kind. And remember to light it up. We have been the Chicks in Charge. I'm Jess.
I'm Shasta.
And we'll see you later.
And I'm Jason.
Oh, yeah, I got to end it. Yep.